What's up, everyone? It's Scotty with Money Investing. So welcome on board for yet another market open live stream. Here we are with the S&P 500 much higher, up over 36 basis points, hitting a record high at the moment. And we also have the NASDAQ pushing up over 58 basis points, with Amazon and Google pushing higher, along with Nvidia also pushing up. And we got the Dow Jones slightly down but still green, up over 24 basis points. So you guys can hear me and see me. Just give me a thumbs up and we are good to go. With Tesla, of course, well over $1,000 per share right now pre-market. Let's see, where is it at? So Tesla, let's take a quick look. We are at about $1,000 and 1,023 right now, down just about 16 basis points, pretty much flat. Google is up 1.24%. Nvidia is up over 3.2, hitting highs of 240. Facebook reported earnings yesterday. I spent about an hour this afternoon going over their entire earnings transcript, trying to understand what they're doing in the future. There are a few changes going forward in Q4, and basically learned about the remarks from Zuckerberg, from the COO, the Chief Operating Officer, and of course CFO as well. Picked up some shares of Facebook this morning, but remain bullish, and I do like everything that I read, even though the revenues were slightly down. And of course, the privacy policy changes have certainly taken a bit of an impact on Facebook's advertising revenue. The user engagement is down, the average revenue per user is down, but overall remain confident in everything that the company is doing and their long-term vision with AR and VR as well. So that's that. The volatility is trading right at 15. We're down about 1.6%. So just at 15 levels here. So just consolidating sideways. Oil continues to rally higher. Brent trading just shy of $86 a barrel. We got crude just under $84 a barrel. So we just consistently pushing higher here. And Bitcoin is just shy of $63,000, with Ethereum also under 4,200 at the moment. So just consolidating sideways as well. So, all right, let's see. So thank you so much for joining in, everybody. Welcome on board. And of course, markets have just been on a crazy rally. I think yesterday was a very green day for a lot of folks that have been holding on to Tesla, because it was up over 12%. So very strong rally on Tesla. Mara was up over 10.5%. Coinbase was up over 8%. I mean, Coinbase, it's kind of been like a very slow mover, but it's been kind of sneaking up, right? It's up another 1.6% pre-market right now. And this has been a nice rally. I feel like not a lot of people are talking about Coinbase, but it's just been moving up with that Bitcoin's movement, right? We talked about it in our yesterday's market open live stream. Lockheed Martin's down 8%. Wow. Down about 7.8%. Let's take a quick look on their earnings. So, all right, so U.S. weapon maker Lockheed Martin lowered its 2021 revenue expectations by 2.5% to $67 billion on Tuesday, and said its next year revenues could fall to $66 billion as the pandemic hobbles the company's supply chain. The news sent Lockheed shares were down 7.7% in pre-market trading. The pandemic has crippled many companies' ability to send and receive the parts and supplies they need to produce a wide range of products, creating shortages and reducing inventories and hammering profits. Man, the supply chain issues have really hurt a lot of companies. It's just that's an incredible move to the downside here. So Lockheed, however, raised its earnings per share guidance for 2021 to $22.45, more than analysts expected at $22.19, as operating profits rose at 6.6% versus same period of last year. The third quarter, which ended September 26, sales at Lockheed's largest unit, aeronautics, which makes the F-35 fighter jets, down 2% from a year earlier, when the pandemic locked down many parts of the defense industry's supply chain. And the unit made 90 F-35 deliveries, with 36 recurring in the third quarter. And Lockheed aims to deliver 133 to 139 of the stealthy jets this year. In 2022, Lockheed plans to deliver 151 to 153 of the fighter aircraft. So, all right, third quarter revenue was $16 billion, 6.6% below analyst estimates of $17.1 billion. So they beat on expectations when it comes to the EPS, and also increased their guidance for EPS, but lowered the revenue guidance, and revenue in itself came in much lower than expectations because strictly of supply chain issues as well. I mean, this could be like a long-term pick here. Just, given the yield is at 3%, and we're coming back down with a huge gap down here for the company. I like Lockheed Martin in the defense sector. Definitely like it quite a bit. So we'll keep a close eye on this stock, definitely. I mean, if it comes down to like 330s, 325, like around those levels, I would be very interested in Lockheed Martin in general. All right, so let's take a quick look on some of the analyst upgrades and downgrades because I feel like it's going to be very important. And this right here, of course, are the earnings. We already went through Facebook. Logitech also announced operating profits dropped 40% year over year for Logitech, even though the revenue was decent. I think we saw like a single mid-digit growth. I think it was like 3 or 6% year over year. But Logitech is also down, I believe, 7% pre-market. We'll take a look at that shortly here. But of course, Lockheed Martin, we just went over, down 7.7%. But today, after the markets close, we've got a lot of companies reporting, including these are the 6 or 7 ones that I'm really interested in. We got Advanced Micro Devices, one of my big positions, Microsoft, Alphabet, again, Google is also reporting, Visa, another one of my positions, Twitter is not my position, but Enphase Energy is, and of course, Robinhood is also reporting their earnings. So a lot of companies are going to be on focus here right after the bell, the closing bell, and we'll cover them, as they come out. And then this right here is going to be tomorrow's earnings. Nothing related to tech except for Spotify reporting, of course, Boeing, General Motors, Coca-Cola, McDonald's. They're all going to be reporting before the markets open. Then we got Teladoc, Twilio, ServiceNow, and Upwork also reporting tomorrow after the bell. And then of course the heavyweights later this week on Thursday after the markets close on for Apple and Amazon reporting their earnings to kind of finish us off with the big tech earnings. So this right here is what we're looking forward to. So Facebook actually just came shy of $30 billion. In fact, we got an EPS beat. $3.22 is what we got for the bottom line number. And top line was just shy of $30 billion. Still saw a nice 36-37% growth year over year for the company. But today we've got Advanced Micro Devices, Microsoft, Google, Visa, Enphase Energy. So these right here, October 26th, after the markets close, this right here is what we're looking forward to for the top line revenue and the bottom line EPS, with AMD revenues at $4.1 billion, Microsoft shy of $44 billion, Google $64.5 billion, Visa $6.4 billion, and Enphase Energy $345 million. That's the expectation from analysts as well, but strong growth year over year for these companies in double digits. So that's going to be the numbers right there. Citi initiates coverage of Coinbase as a buy. KeyBank reiterates Robinhood as overweight right ahead of the earnings here. Credit Suisse downgrades Beyond Meat to underperform from neutral. So they basically see that the company has deeper problems that it won't get fixed quickly. So this right here, the meat alternatives category still has potential upside for the next several years, but we are lowering our long-term forecast for Beyond sales and market share. And this year's spate of management departures and many factors cited for the revenue shortage and shortfalls suggest deeper problems that won't be fixed quickly. JP Morgan reiterates Facebook as a buy, puts a price target at $390, although it was lowered from $450. So that was one of the things that kind of was the trend for Facebook after yesterday's earnings, is that they actually reported somewhat in line with the numbers, but they also said that they are going to start reporting revenues in 2 different categories. The first one is going to be Facebook's Realty. Actually, that's going to be Facebook Labs, right? Reality Labs or something, FRL. And that's going to include some of their augmented reality, virtual reality stuff. And then it's going to be Facebook's family of apps, which includes WhatsApp, Instagram, Messenger, all those different types of apps. So for the first segment, which is the actual reality labs, like augmented reality and virtual reality, the company is going to be spending so much on that, where they are generating an operating loss that they expect to of about $10 billion. But their other business continues to thrive, with advertising revenues being higher. And of course, privacy issues still playing a little bit of a role, but we did see some type of growth here for that segment. So the whole trend was people are still bullish, investors remain bullish. You'll see analysts remain bullish on Facebook stock, but they did lower their guidance because of how much Facebook is going to continue to spend on that first part of the business, which they are going to be reporting separately. Jefferies reiterates Alphabet as a buy. So with stock 57% year to date, Google faces high expectations and is viewed as a crowded long, reflecting strong fundamentals. Our checks showed robust Q3 ad spend as ad budgets recover and YouTube momentum gathers more steam. Google Cloud continues to penetrate enterprises. So those are some of the things that I mentioned in my weekend video. That the things to watch is going to be Google Cloud. That's the services business for the company. The YouTube ad spend, that's going to be very important for the advertising business as a whole, because right now, as we enter the holiday season Q4, those things are expected to pick up as well for YouTube. Bank of America reiterates Apple as neutral, and they essentially are forecasting a strong fiscal fourth quarter 2021 September quarter revenue, with modeling revenues of $86.6 billion. What do we have? So 86.6 I have Apple at 84.9. So 84.9 versus what are they forecasting here again? 84.9 versus 86.6. Okay, so this is a actually my estimate is very in line. So they have 84.6 billion and I have it at 84.9. So which compares to Street at 84.6 billion. And this is despite limited selling days in the quarter for new iPhone 13 models. So again, remember, we only get 2 weeks for the iPhone 13 because October is when the fiscal year starts for Apple, and they launched the iPhone 13 in the middle of September. So we'll only get about 2 weeks of the iPhone 13. And that's the initial spike that we see going into the first quarter for Apple in fiscal year 2022. So expecting roughly $84 to $85 billion in revenue, and that should be pretty decent for the company, just considering after, and of course, the future guidance of what their 10 million unit cut is going to look like. Telsley reiterates Amazon has outperformed as well for the company, so we believe Amazon's third quarter 2021 results should continue to benefit from the growth of its Prime member base, expansion of its merchandise assortment, including grocery, fashion, private brands, and third-party products, and its fulfillment as well. Piper Sandler reiterates Best Buy as an overweight retail tech giant, raising its price target to $155 a share from $150, so the company's membership pricing discounts look solid as well. So yes, I'll go over Southwest here. I'm just going to finish through this very quickly. So Morgan Stanley reiterates Spotify as an overweight. After more than doubling in value in 2020, Spotify shares have significantly lagged our broader coverage group's performance year to date. As we look to 2022, we believe it offers a uniquely compelling upside case if premium music growth accelerates and gross margins also expand for the company. And BMO reiterates Disney as market perform. Rosenblatt upgrades Facebook to buy from neutral. And this right here is going to be the actual numbers for Facebook. Earnings came in at $3.22, a little bit higher than our expectations. $29 billion, just a little bit over $29 billion was the revenue. Like I said, just shy of $30 billion is what they announced. Daily active users were in line with the estimates. I think this number actually grew from 1.89 billion previous quarter. So that's 400,000, or actually whatever, 4 million daily active users increase. Monthly active users went from 2 something billion to 2.91, a little bit shy of the expectations of 2.93 billion. And this is the big reason why the revenue dropped. Average revenue per user dropped down to $10 per user. That was a big reason why we saw a decline in revenue for the company. All right, so let's take a quick look on some of the stocks here. So Southwest, let's see. Last time I checked, it was slightly higher here, up over 78 basis points. So we're just trading at support level at close to $47.20 right now. So we're just at that support. We're getting a little bit of a buyers kind of step in. So yesterday's low was $47.20. So right now we're just kind of bouncing off of that $47.20 level, and right now just over 70 basis points. So definitely very, very oversold right now. So RSI coming down, MACD coming down. I remain bullish on the company as well for the long term as one of my recovery plays moving forward. So all right, let's see. So let's take a look at Snapchat. So Snapchat kind of getting a bounce back higher here, 1.5% up, but yesterday it was down about 1%, so $55. Again, anywhere closer to that 300 simple moving average is going to be that support level to watch. We've got a massive gap to fill here, so this right here is going to be the gap that Snapchat needs to kind of fill in after the huge gap down from earnings for Snapchat as well. It does trade at a rich valuation, so I would be very careful. But of course, at $40.30, that's kind of like my sweet spot for a potential swing trade for this company as well. If we do get a retest down to that level, because that level has previously acted as a really strong level of demand and support several times, right? Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, we've consistently got to bounce off that level for the company. So Boba, thank you so much for that donation. Tesla split coming. If yes, is it good for holders? So Tesla split. We don't know. I mean, it's going to be, again, it's up to the board to decide if they want to split the stock. Last time we split the stock when it was at roughly, I believe, $3,000, right? So $3,000 is where we were trading for Tesla before we actually got that split. And I think after the split, we came down to, I believe, lows of $500, $600, right? Roughly on that. So 600 times 5 is like $3,000. So last time we did that 5-for-1 split, I believe we were at roughly $3,000. So, but that happened like fairly quickly, right? So that happened in just a few months. Tesla stock rallied, 160, 120%. So that was a pretty insane rally to begin with. But yes, we are approaching to that level where they're going to continue to kind of have talks. I'm sure the board is going to talk about it, whether to split Tesla shares again or not. And I feel like Tesla is going to be very similar to Apple, where Apple wants to trade in a range. You'll notice that Apple has gone through several splits in the past, and they've always wanted to keep their share price in that $100 range. $100 kind of like the sweet spot for Apple. And every time they rally to 200, 250, they do a split, right? Apple also did a split last year. I forgot what the number was. Was it like 4-1 or 3-1? But let's just take a quick look. So this right here was actually 4-1 stock split that Apple also did, and brought down from, I believe it was roughly 700 or 600, roughly around those levels, brought down to like 100, 150 around those levels. But that's kind of like their sweet spot. For Tesla, it could happen. It's up to the board, but I'm just holding on to that stock. But RSI incredibly overbought right now, and so is the MACD. So I would just be very, very careful here. $1,000 is going to be that next support level to watch for the company. All right, so let's see. Let's take a look at Amazon. Amazon here slightly up over 1% pre-market. 3,300 remains our support level that we're watching for the company here, and resistance level is going to stay put at close to $3,400 for the company. So 3,400 near-term resistance, 3,300 near-term support. I remain bullish on the company. It's just been consolidating sideways for a really long time, but I do see Amazon, over the long term. You guys know, if you've watched that video, if you've seen my dedicated analysis on the company, I see it north of $5,000. But in the near term, 4,000, roughly 4,000 to 4,200 is going to be that target to watch for Amazon as well. All right, so let's see. Let's talk about Facebook here. So Facebook has been selling off pre-market. So if you take a look at this pattern for Facebook, you'll notice that we have just been coming down from highs of, I believe, 339, 340 levels. So we were much higher for Facebook, but pre-market we've just been selling off here. There we go. So this right here, 330 and 339 was a high. We have pulled back over 2.6% for the company as the volume has picked up. Overall, I do like everything that I learned about, right? With the metaverse, that everything the company is kind of focusing on. They mentioned about reporting in two different ways. Mark Zuckerberg also addressed everything surrounding the company with the leaked documents, and it kind of addressed like the whole polarizing arguments and the debates about privacy issues, advertising, just kind of reducing content that can be sort of debatable. All those things were discussed. So overall, my opinion on Facebook has not yet changed. I remain bullish on the company with a price target north of 700, but that's also 2026, so 5 years out for the company as well. But in the near term, I mean, this is trading at a very, very inexpensive level, right? Forward price to earnings, price to sales, price to cash flow, enterprise value to EBITDA, all those valuations make a lot of sense for the company right now. All right, yes, so Google is reporting earnings today. We talked about it earlier, so make sure that you kind of go back on that and check that out. So Upstart, we were up over 5% yesterday, so right now we're down about 1.75%, just over $353. But we talked about how the 21 EMA and the 9 EMA have been acting as a support for the company. So if let's see, let me just put that on the chart, and I will I'll just hide those. So this right here is going to be the 21 EMA for Upstart, and you'll notice how perfectly we are just validating that support at the moment right now. And that right there is going to be that 9 EMA that also Upstart has been validating in the past as well. All right, so let's see. What is your year-end target price for Palantir and Facebook? So I don't have a year-end target price, unfortunately, for either of those companies because year-end is like now, 2 months away. Wow, Palantir up over 2% here. But I do have a price target of $50 by 2026 and over $700 for Facebook by 2026. We did have a price target on Tesla of $1,000 by the year end. We had a price target on AMD at $120 by the year end. So I will be revising those targets and I will be putting those videos out during the time of like December and January. So like during the year end, I will be putting out videos on most of these companies, kind of doing my revised estimates and putting new price targets on these stocks for, depending on how long I do that, for 3 years, 5 years out, I will be putting out new price targets on those companies as well. Maybe I'll put like 1 year targets out as well, but mostly it's going to be mostly long term, so like 3 years, 5 years out for those companies. So we'll do like a revised estimate, so make sure that you check out or like look for those videos during that time as well. But Palantir, nice breakout up over 2.2% here. This right here is going to be that support level to watch for the company, and we're seeing a little bit of continuation from yesterday, right? So the volume was decent yesterday. So this right here, 34 million dollars, 34 million shares was the volume yesterday, just a little bit higher than the average today volume, but definitely kind of like a breakout from this ascending triangle. So 25.75 next support level, but the strongest resistance level that Palantir needs to break out of is going to be this $29.30 level. So that right there is going to be that level to watch for the company. So all right, let's see NEO. Let's see how NEO is doing. So we are up over 0.5%. So breaking out over 41.34. So this right here is actually going to turn into a support level for the company. So we'll go ahead and turn this level into a support. Decent breakout for NEO so far. The only question is whether the company is going to be able to hold up these levels, continue to kind of move to the upside. 45.50, this right here, is going to be that next resistance level to watch for the stock right now. So DraftKings had a really interesting move, up over 6.6%, although this stock has also been selling off pre-market. So you'll notice that we did gap up a lot to highs of $53, $52 a share. Since then, we've pulled back close to 6%. Almost an identical catalyst. Same thing happened to DraftKings than what happened to PayPal, right? They said that they're going to be acquiring Entain. PayPal said that they were looking into acquiring Pinterest. They had a bid out. DraftKings had a bid out, and then today they announced that they are not bidding on Entain. So DraftKings scraps plan to buy Entain, and as soon as this came out, Entain was down. So I don't know what that ticker symbol is, ENT. So this stock down about 7.4%. The market is open over there. Again, this is the London Stock Exchange. We're down about 7.4% for this company, and DraftKings is rallying higher. So almost two case studies that we saw for PayPal, Pinterest, and DraftKings, Entain, just selling off on this rumor, on this speculated deal that they would potentially be buying Entain, and then as a result, we're back up 5.5%. As soon as they said they're not interested. All right, so let's just quickly switch over to our actual indices here. This Dow Jones is going to be all the way to the left, S&P to the flat here in the middle, and we've got the NASDAQ all the way to the right. And then we'll also switch over to our 4 stocks here. I'll put Tesla top left. We'll put Amazon to the top right. NVIDIA, I'm really interested to see how NVIDIA trades today. And then we'll put Facebook here, bottom left as well. AMD reports later today. AMD is slightly green, not a whole lot, but overall, I mean, we're seeing all-time highs for the S&P, the NASDAQ. I mean, SPY is up over 36 basis points, hitting new all-time highs at 457. QQQ is almost, I feel like spitting distance away from all-time highs here, less than 1% away from all-time highs, and the Dow Jones also at all-time highs, up over 26 basis points. So here we go. What do you guys think? Red or green? By the way, I got new lights. I don't know if you guys will notice this, but this is the green light. I don't know how much it shows on my face right now. But we've also got red, blue, a lot of different types of lights I've got. So to set the mood for the markets. All right, let's go. Green light looks perfect. Yes, that's what we're looking forward to. NVIDIA at 240 now. Absolutely I don't know what's going on with TradingView. Actually, okay. Yeah, I didn't notice. We still have 20 seconds left. I was wondering why the market hasn't opened. So poll I can't quite do right now because I'm looking at the live chat on my phone. So once we have this figured out, because right now I'm only working with one screen, but as soon as I have an extra monitor, then definitely I'll be able to do that in the future. Because right now I'm looking at the live chat on a different device. All right, so let's see here. Let's see what happens. So much momentum. There definitely is. Tesla is now up in the green. Amazon is also green. Southwest is higher. But again, we'll take a quick look on the broader markets as well. There we go. There Tesla goes up to 1,030. NVIDIA is at $241 almost, hitting highs of, what's the market cap? Almost $600 billion. Can you believe that? NVIDIA's market cap now approaching $600 billion. Angel, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for joining in, and I really appreciate that donation. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll definitely go over some of your stocks. Any thoughts on the unrealized capital gains tax plan? I was literally laughing at that when she was pitching it. I don't think it's gonna happen. I mean, that's just absolute madness if people start taxing, or like if we have to pay taxes on unrealized gains. That is just I mean, there's no, yeah, that is just stupid in my opinion. But anyway, Facebook down about 1% here. This right here, we got Nvidia still up over 3.6, Amazon pushing higher. Let's take a look at Google. So Google is slightly pulling back, still green, but there we go. Look at Tesla, 1.2%. The all-time high sits at 1,045. But once Tesla gets into these bull cycles, once it starts really going, it takes a long time to really stop, right? Even though the RSI is just so overextended at this level. I mean, Tesla's RSI is just beyond belief at 91. So there we go, 1,040 for Tesla. 1,041. I mean, the market cap is now well over 1.01 trillion. Absolutely incredible move. And the volume is also good. I mean, 2.5 million shares for $1,000 stock is not less. It's a lot. So 1,045, there we go. We just hit a new all-time high for Tesla again. 1,046.69. 1,048 just keeps climbing. Absolutely beast of a stock. Unstoppable. So yesterday I was reading an article that basically said that Elon Musk's net worth is now almost at $290 billion, which is more than, you want to guess which company? Which is ironic. You guys want to guess which company that was? And again, of course, Elon Musk's $290 billion is more than a lot of companies, but they were comparing it to one specific company in particular. Not Toyota, Exxon. Adrian got it. Exxon Mobil, the oil, natural, like energy oil company. And here we have not just Tesla, but the person who runs Tesla is worth more than the Exxon Mobil. Like, that company's been around for so long. It's been kind of disrupting, just been in that oil business for as long as I can remember. And it's now worth, and he alone is now worth more. This is absolutely phenomenal. All right, so here we go. This is the NASDAQ up another 70 basis points today. We got the S&P hitting a new record high at 45.88. So, Tom Lee from FundStrat, I believe, had a price target of 4,800, representing a 6% upside before the year end on the S&P 500. And we got the Dow Jones, also green but slightly pulling back intraday here. So, all right, let's take a look at PayPal. So PYPL, let's see how that stock is doing. So still pretty much flat here. I'm watching 225 to kind of add more to my position. PayPal, it continues to kind of trade at a little bit of a rich valuation. Even though I love the stock, bullish on the company itself, I just want to pay a little bit of a discount here at 225. I feel like would be a nice price to kind of add more shares. Square continues to push higher, up another 1%. By the way, speaking of Square, Jack Dorsey also tweeted about hyperinflation, and then a couple other economists and analysts, and Kathy Wood came out and said that we don't need to be worried about hyperinflation at all. And there's one thing that I wanted to show you guys. So I was looking at something, right? So if you go over to the Fed funds rate, so let's just go over that Fed funds rate very quickly. And this, let me see if I can find the chart. So this is the chart that I wanted to go over. And this is, of course, the Fed funds rate. This is the actual interest rates, right, controlled by the Fed. This is the monetary policy. This is really what they look forward to, like when we're talking about interest rates. Of course, we're trading at literally at 0.009, just about as low as we can get. But I wanted to kind of really take a look at these times when, of course, interest rates were going up to fight inflation, right? Inflation was really high around these times. And if you come down to like 1973, 1974, what really happened with the markets, and we're talking about the S&P 500 around these times. And that's why it's a big issue, right? Because hyperinflation is not to be taken lightly. It's a pretty big thing. So let's just go back to around these levels. So 1974, 1975, around this time. You'll notice first was 1968, 1970, right? So that 2-year period, the market dropped 37%. So that was around this time. So 1979, right here, the interest rates were as high as 9%, right? So we're at over 9%, just hovering on those levels. And until they started coming down in the 1971, then it kind of started to kind of taper off. The market started pushing higher. 1971, we started rallying once again till 1973, up 79, 80%. Then this happened, another drop of 49, 50%. So that was a 50%, pretty much a crash for the S&P 500. At that time, it was trading at 121 points, all the way down to 61. And that resulted in, how do I reset this chart? All right. So this right here was that 1974, 1975 drop, right? Around this level. So certainly, of course, you know, we have, I gotta turn this off. All right, there we go. But this right here, you know, that was the whole point behind why interest rates are so important for fighting inflation. But of course, if inflation continues to push higher, then that is going to be a big issue for the markets in general. All right, just got an alert for Apple. So Apple is also pushing up here to 150, breaking out over 150 here for Apple. So if you go over to the daily chart, this right here is going to be the complete technical breakdown. And right now we are seeing that breakout over $150 for Apple as well. NVIDIA is at $242, up over 4.6%. I'm really curious to find out what is charging this stock higher. So check out what whales are doing with NVIDIA stocks. So a whale with a lot of money to spend, possibly insider knowledge, has taken, all right, where did that go? Has taken a noticeably bullish stance on NVIDIA. Looking at options history for NVIDIA, we detected 39 strange trades. If you consider the specifics of each trade, it is accurate to state that 51.28% of investors open trades with bullish expectations and 48% with bearish. From the overall spotted trades, 5 are puts for a total of $173,000 and 34 calls for a total of $1.4 million. What's the price target? So taking account the volume and open interest of these contracts, it appears that whales have been targeting price range from $120 to $270 for NVIDIA over the last 3 months. So wow, what a huge move in NVIDIA stock right now. So all right, Amazon back over to 3,400. Let's take a quick look. So up 2.4%. Wow. Strong move for Amazon. Good for them. So Amazon, we also went over Neo, we also went over Apple, breaking out to 150. Nvidia's up to 243. And Neo's also up over 0.5%. But just big tech, I mean, ahead of the earnings, you know, this week, they're just, how's AMD doing? So AMD is also up to $125, up 2% here. New all-time highs for the company. So wow, we have NVIDIA. We have NVIDIA at all-time highs. We have AMD at all-time highs. We've got Tesla at all-time highs. Apple just shy of all-time highs. So yeah, I mean, we got a lot to celebrate, you guys. A lot of stocks are green, pushing higher. Just fantastic. That's incredible. All right, let's see. Let's see what else is moving. So Enphase is up 64 basis points. Square, Palantir. Palantir gave up a lot of the gains here. Palantir definitely, let's take a look at pins. So pins down 2.2%. So 40 at 50 is going to be that level to watch next for the company. I feel like there's a lot of pressure right now in the short term. You know, we're literally just back down to where we were previously. So Palantir, yeah, Palantir just gave up most of those gains here. It was up over 2% and then just kind of struggling to break out 25.75. And then just coming back down below that support. So we'll go ahead and turn this level back into a resistance for the company. Yeah, I mean, this has just been a very struggling pattern, but it makes sense because we gapped up. So this right here was a minor gap up for Palantir. Then we came back down to fill this entire gap. And the now support is going to be $25 per share. So kind of aligned with those moving averages. So that is going to be that next support level. We did come down to fill that gap. We'll see if the buyers kind of step in to essentially close higher or lower from those levels. Let's take a look at Intel. Intel, wow, down about 1.5% here. Again, we're seeing a bit of a flush away from Intel over to Nvidia and AMD, like those stocks just hitting new all-time highs. Nvidia at 245. One of my friends, it's like he's been bullish on Nvidia since we've been going to school, like back in 2017, 2018. Like this was like his quote unquote his golden goose, and he's been like texting me like all morning. He's like, Nvidia just absolutely insane rally, and market cap's now over $610 billion. Like crazy, crazy, crazy. All right, so Intel free fall. Yes, we just went over that. So Atlantic, what is your biggest stock holding? I share the entire stuff with our Patreon members. If you want to access that, the link is going to be down in the description below. But we go over, sector breakdowns, percentage allocations in each stock. We go over how much I've been buying. So over the last several months, I've been buying a lot of shares, a lot of alerts I've been sending out. So all of that is shared with our Discord and our Patreon members in detail as well, along with a lot of tutorials on fundamental technical analysis. All right, let's see. Though AMD definitely doing up well. Let's take a look at Tesla. Let's see how that stock is doing. So up to 1,040, still up over 1.5%. So overall, I mean, the markets are in this entire in this bull mode right now, where it just keeps going higher. The Nasdaq up another 72 basis points. How far away are we from the Nasdaq here? We're practically at all-time highs. I mean, we're literally just less than 0.5% away from all-time highs for the Nasdaq. So definitely green light is what we're gonna turn on so far for us. I don't know if you guys can see that, probably not, but I actually shared it with our Instagram members as well. So if you want to connect with me there. Yeah, so Kevin, the membership starts on the 1st of each month. So I would highly encourage for everyone who's wanting to join, just wait a few more days. And November 1st is when you can actually join. And so that you're not charged twice. But yes, November 1st is when that actually starts. Love the green light. All right, so what are we watching? What other stocks can we look at, right? The markets are really green. There's a lot of stocks hitting new all-time highs. Some stocks on earnings are dropping. Lockheed Martin's down. Logitech is down. Upstart giving back some of the gains here. We got Pinterest pulling back, still continuing on that momentum. Mara's coming down, with Bitcoin also down here, down about 1%. So we're seeing a little bit of a pullback. PayPal we already went over. NEO we already went over. Let's start shorting. Oh no, absolutely not. I mean, this is just a lot of momentum. I would always be like a net buyer of stocks. That's what I really like to do. And again, honestly, every day I feel like I just need to buy something, right? I just want to go out there and buy something. Like today we picked up some more Walgreens. By the way, I haven't really taken a look at Walgreens. How is that stock doing? Down, of course, 63 basis points here, just shy of $49. But this stock, I do see a lot of long-term value in, and with the dividends as well, continues to be one of my dividend plays. Realty Income, this company is going to go through a merger very soon with VREIT. I believe VREIT shareholders are going to receive some shares of Realty Income Corp once the merger goes through. But that is going to essentially make the company worth about $49 billion as a whole market cap. That's why we've seen a lot of rally here for Realty Income Corp, right? 13-14%. But we continue to buy this as well. Let's take a look at Intuit. So Intuit has definitely been, wow, another 0.5% gain here from 522. It's up over 16%. The earnings are coming up. This is a very, very interesting stock that I want to buy. I'm not sure if I've actually done an analysis on it, but it does trade at a pretty expensive level, right? 16 times sales, 78 times earnings. I would love to buy Intuit. It's kind of like in that same space as Adobe. Adobe's also rallied back up from lows of about 552. It's jumped over 17-18%. So definitely want to buy Adobe and Intuit. Adobe I want to buy more of, so I already have a position in this company, but I want to buy more of Adobe and Intuit. But if they come down to a more reasonable level, I would love to buy more. All right, let's take a look at AMC. Just for you guys, we'll take a look at AMC stock. So $40 is actually going to be a resistance now. And by the way, I do share these support resistance levels in our Discord, part of our morning briefing with everyone. So in that, you'll see the support and the resistance level. For AMC, unfortunately, $29 is going to be that next level to watch for the company right now. Resistance is going to stay put at $40. And once again, you'll notice the volumes kind of come down. So every day we are just at 35 million shares traded. So volume is really important for stocks like AMC to find that momentum, find that breakout, find that move to the upside for a potential back up to $45, $50 a share. But right now, resistance is going to stay put at close to 40 bucks. Support level is going to stay at close to $29 a share. Let's take a look at Baba. How is that stock doing? So we're just getting rejected at 180. This right here is a level to watch, as a resistance. We had that target for Alibaba right now. In the near term, we're just getting rejected. The RSI is coming down, the MACD is coming down. So it's not a surprise why we're seeing a little bit of a pullback. But in my opinion, this company remains a little bit undervalued right now, just given where we are. In mode finally down 5%. Oh my God. So this right here is a resistance at close to 90 bucks, right? So this right here is going to be that level to watch. We're just getting rejected, although I swear to God, if this company starts making this bull flag and eventually if you see a breakout beyond $90, man, I'm going to be so pissed. But 50 EMA is going to be that next support level, that near term dip buying opportunity if you already have a position. But of course, if you're like me, a little bit more conservative, I would like to wait for a better deal for the company. This is a very, very strong growth stock. In my opinion, this has just been pushing higher. Joshua, we just went over Alibaba. Right before this one. But this right here, kind of around that $45, $50 level is what I'm waiting for. But of course, there's a risk that this stock may never come down there, because that's going to be a strong 35-40% drop for the company, because the valuation is a little bit high, but the fundamentals are just that much better for the company. Did Tesla just cross over 1,050? Wow, look at that. 1,055, up over 3%. Wow. I mean, this is incredible, guys. This is absolutely incredible. It's incredible. It's just, I just want to keep a close eye on 2 or 3 stocks today, like for the most part. Like Tesla is going to be all the way over here. Amazon is right here. And let's just keep NVIDIA on this side. I mean, NVIDIA has just been, like, just look at these 3 patterns. I mean, look at Tesla. My God, this is incredible. This is incredible. 1,063. Can we get 1,069? But wow, this is just... a lot of momentum here. So much buying pressure. And it only helps when you get a lot of price targets kind of come on board. You have a lot of kind of like analysts coming on board, putting price targets of 1,100, 1,200, right, 1,300. Like it just keeps snowballing from there. As a result, then you have like a lot of people FOMOing in on this company. No way, it sees all-time highs. Yeah, Etsy is also at all-time highs. Wow, we've been kind of... This is a stock that we actually did buy in our Discord, I believe in like the 200s or even lower. Might have been like 160s or 170s. Can't remember, but I think it was 180s. But this stock, I actually didn't know that yesterday was up quite a bit. It was up, what, 4% yesterday. Wow, 48% jump here. Again, congratulations to everyone who actually traded or invested in Etsy. So there we go. We got another one that's hitting a new all-time high. We got AMD, we got NVIDIA, we got Etsy now, and we got Tesla. 4 stocks hitting new all-time highs today. All of them. It's phenomenal. So Tattooed Chef just slightly down. Up over 2.2%, but just been trading right above that $17 level, $17 level. So we're getting a little bit of a bounce back higher. So Kenny, take profit for Tesla? It's kind of a tough question, man. I mean, it really depends on what your time horizon is, because I do plan on holding for a very, very long time. Like we're talking, several decades out, because if you think about it, and if you really kind of do the math, and let's just do a very simple example on Amazon, right? Let's just do on Amazon. If you come back on the chart and you just take a look at the growth that Amazon's seen, right? Again, this is obviously not an apples to apples comparison, because of course Tesla is in a completely different market, Amazon's in a completely different market. And you'll notice, give you a simple example, we went up like 1,000% here, right? And this is as a whole, like if you were to compare this right here, so I can't shorten it, but anyway, so this right here, Amazon went up over 1,800% from 2001 to 2007, right? Over 1,800%. Now, of course, a lot of people would have seen those gains as 1,800% as phenomenal. You want to sell, you're up 1,000%, you're up 500%, you're up 200%, whatever. You're up a lot on that stock, and you want to lock in some gains and some profits. That's great. But if you take a look at time horizon, what the company was able to do. Again, this is not an apples to apples comparison, but I'm just saying that investing has a very long-term outlook, right? Companies can do so much 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now, that the gains can seem very low right now. I mean, Tesla, 1 trillion is great, but 10 years from now, who knows where Tesla's going to be, right? It could be 2, it could be 3, it could be $4 trillion, right? So you just have to really ask yourself, if you need the money, if you're happy with the gains that you've generated with Tesla, all the power to you, right? Nobody's going to stop you from selling, and that's completely up to you. But if you have the long-term outlook, if you have what it takes to kind of hold on for another 5 years or 10 years or 15 years, and you can keep up with the earnings, you can keep up with the revenue, you know what the company is doing, then 1 trillion can be a very small milestone in what could be like a super big company in the future. Could surpass companies like Amazon, Microsoft, Apple in the future with everything that they're doing. But of course, there's always going to be polarizing debate around that. Of course, people are going to say that Tesla is overvalued, which it is. That's a fair comparison, because Tesla right now, just trading at where it is, fundamentally just doesn't make any sense. Trading at just a significantly higher forward PE, but it's it's a very fast growing company. Deliveries are growing very strong, revenues have grown very strong, margins are growing very strong. So that's all getting priced in, and we are now at 1,066, up another 3.9, almost 4%. Tesla 3K by 2025, Ben's estimate. Very, very bold estimate, Ben. I love it. But yeah, just amazing move from Tesla. Autodesk also up. Let's take a quick look. So up another 0.5%, so decent gain here. Not a whole lot, but just definitely pushing higher. So S&P is up, the Nasdaq is up, the Dow Jones is up. So Dow and S&P hitting a record high, and we got the Nasdaq also up over 61 basis points, just shy of all-time highs. But overall, man, this has just been incredible. Tesla's at 1,072. Wow. VIX is just over 15, so we're just hovering around that support level. So Facebook broke support. Let's take a quick look. Not quite. I mean, we're just 320 is going to be that next support level to watch for the company. So right now we're just sitting above that 200 simple moving average. We'll continue to watch that level for Facebook as well. So what do you think about Chegg as a swing? So Chegg, I've definitely been keeping a close eye on that. It's just been selling off quite a bit. Let's take a look. So revenue has been growing, very, very nicely. It does trade at a rich valuation here, 39 times cash flow, and we're trading at over 53 times EBITDA. So those are some rich multiples for the company. But this right here is going to be that next support level to watch for this stock at close to $55 a share. Is going to be that next support level to watch, and resistance is going to stay put at 64. All the way as high as 72, all the way as high as $90. So those right there are going to be resistance levels. 1,075 for Tesla. We may just get up to as $1.1 trillion market cap here. So yesterday, when Tesla was up over 12%, Elon Musk added $36 billion, right? So you divide that by 3. Right now we're up over 4%. So 36 divided by 3 is going to be roughly what? 18. Actually, 18 divided by whatever that is. Can't do my mental math here. Let me see. Yeah, so $12 billion is how much you might be up today. All right, let's take a look at CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike up another 5%. So 270 is going to be that new support level, but we just continue to push higher, right? We're just charging through for this stock. So, there was an interview on Bloomberg not too long ago where they mentioned that we're in a very sort of like a different type of market environment. And the reason why that is because even though the companies are trading at rich valuations, they're trading at significant premiums relative to their revenues, to their earnings. So even though it may seem like, some companies are in that dot-com bubble phase, but the fact that there's so much buying pressure, so much money sitting on the sidelines, that's why it's being justified, right? That's why the market continues to trade at a premium, because every dip gets bought up. Every single opportunity in the markets gets bought up because there's just so much participation in the market and money just sitting on the sidelines with the dry powder. That's why we see those drops, they get bought up, right? So VUG is up another 67 basis points. So this has been part of our market experiment, and so far it's played out, right? It's so far, and if I do an update today, it's played out. We are nicely in the green for this one, even though I kid you not, I bought it at the very top. I bought it at literally at the peak as I could. I think my starting point was $309 a share, and I wrote it all the way down. And that was the whole point behind this market experiment, is that even if you buy at all-time highs, so if today you're just getting started with investing, you're someone who's literally wants to start investing, and markets are all-time highs, in fact they are, right? And if you ask yourself a question, should I buy at all-time highs? Should I wait for a better entry? The answer is no. You should literally just get in. The time to invest is just yesterday. Like, you should start investing yesterday. That's how it should be. And of course, you can kind of pivot with the cash exposure you have. Of course, not going all in, or of course, the quality of your assets, quality of your stocks really matter. But I always encourage people to kind of stay invested and not pull out just because there's a speculation of a potential pullback. Anu, no, invest in Tesla now. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying for the broader market. I'm saying for this experiment that we did for VUG, for the S&P 500, right? So I started buying VUG at $309, $310, and then we dollar cost averaged down as this was coming down, and the market resiliency, because of the dynamics of the markets, just given where just given the stats, right? So 87% of the time the markets are within 20% of their all-time highs, right? Those are insane odds for the last 75 years. So just based on that market experiment, and again, we've only been doing it for like less than 2 months, so we'll have more data, we'll have more experience when we've done it for like a couple of years, a couple of decades out. Then we'll be able to do it much better. So US daylight starting soon. Yes, I think it's November 1st. When that starts, I'm not sure if relative to where I'm at, if the markets are going to open one hour earlier or 1 hour later. So starts an hour later. Okay, so it's going to start an hour later. It's going to close an hour later as well. So, wow, it's going to close at like 3 in the morning for me. It's going to open later too. So yeah, definitely we'll have to adjust to that time. All right, guys, so I'm actually going to cut it there. I really appreciate you guys watching and joining us for this Market Open live stream. We got Tesla at 1,072 right now, hitting over $1.06 trillion, up another 4.6%. We got Amazon also higher. The market's at all-time highs, the S&P, the Dow Jones, with the exception of the NASDAQ. But overall, very, very strong day for the markets. Make sure that you check out the links down in the description below for our Patreon to get those real-time buy and sell alerts. I would wait just a few more days. November 1st, we're going to open that up with some new spots and a 16% discount as well. By the way, Halloween is right around the corner, and I will be giving you guys a fundamental analysis course coupon. I will let you guys decide in the live chat what that coupon code should be for Halloween. So let me know if there's any suggestions for the live chat, and I will set that as the code for a good 30% discount if you want to join. But that has to be related to Halloween because it's right around the corner. So we'll be doing that as well. But again, thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate you guys. And make sure that you check out the links down in the description below. Congratulations on another strong green day. And I'll see you guys. And I'll be jumping over to our Discord to kind of answer any questions, and send out updates and alerts as well. So thank you so much for joining. I'll see you guys in the next